Welcome to Saints Together. This is episode 2 of Conversations on Leadership and Christian Higher Education. My name is Jay McCurry, and I serve as the Provost and Chief Academic Officer at Randall University in Moore, Oklahoma. Today, we're talking about biblical worldview, not as a buzzword, not as a slogan, but as the foundational issue shaping Christian leadership, Christian education, and the future of the church in America. If we misunderstand worldview or assume it is instead of forming it, we lose far more than we realize. When we talk about a biblical worldview, we're talking about a comprehensive way of seeing reality through Scripture. It answers the biggest questions of life. Who is God? What does it mean to be human? What is truth? What is right and wrong? Why are we here? What is broken and what restores it? A biblical worldview isn't just believing the Bible is true, it's allowing Scripture to shape how we think, decide, interpret culture, and to live. And that distinction matters more today than ever before. Most Americans who identify as Christian do not actually hold a biblical worldview. Research from George Barna's American Worldview Inventory consistently finds that only a small percentage of U.S. adults, roughly 4 to 5%, hold a biblical worldview when measured by core beliefs about truth, morality, God, and Scripture. Many people attend church, many people believe in God, many own a Bible, but when asked about moral truth, human identity, salvation, or authority, their answers often reflect cultural assumptions rather than biblical ones. Barna's research shows that Gen Z and millennials have the lowest incidence of biblical worldview of any adult generations measured. In some studies, only about 4% of Gen Z meets the criteria for a biblical worldview. That means the vast majority of young adults entering college today are forming their view of truth, identity, and morality from somewhere other than Scripture. Pew Research consistently finds that a majority of Americans still identify as Christian, but that identification is increasingly disconnected from doctrinal clarity or biblical authority. Christianity, for many, has become a label rather than a lens. The college years are formative. Students are not just learning information, they are learning how to interpret the world. Authors argue that many students lose their faith not because it is disproven, but because it never is deeply understood. Owen Strachan warns that modern cultural movements often function as full worldviews. Jonathan Haidt documents rising anxiety and identity confusion among young adults. Carl Trueman describes a world where truth and authority have been redefined. Each of these realities presses on today's students. Biblical worldview formation must be intentional. It must be integrated across all disciplines, and it must be modeled by leadership. Biblical worldview is not optional, it is foundational. Christian higher education matters because worldview formation matters. My name is Jay McCurry, and this is Saints Together.